Okay, I want to talk about a four-letter word, okay? It's called salt. I'm telling you, it's a four-letter word in my book. It's misused, and it's misconceived. And it looks like, hey, it's just clear, crystal, it's good for you. We need it. Salt of the earth and all those other things. Let me tell you something about salt. Salt has ruined more bodies. It's done more damage to digestive systems, kidneys, not to mention high blood pressure. Now, today's food is so processed with salt, it's terrible. And most everybody asks, do you put salt on food? No, but it's in all the food you have, in an abundance, usually 10 times more than you need. I'm talking about sodium control. We need to control our sodium. Sometimes what could look like fat to the naked eye is really subcutaneous fat, which is really water under the skin. It makes the skin dimply and cellulite looking. And that's the first thing that leaves when you get rid of salt. If you can go salt-free for 3 or 4 days, you won't believe the difference. 21 is the key. Do 21 and my fueling plan is the ultimate. Do the fueling, 3 meals a day with snacks between. It's really not bad at all. I basically live that way. Of course, I eat more than that. With the quad maker, you gotta eat more. With the latch, you gotta eat more and so forth. Think about this. What food in the world that grows in the ground has got salt in it? Time's up. There is none. There's not one food that grows in the ground that's got salt in it. Now, what's an herb? Rosemary, sage, they're green. They grow in the ground. They're seasonings. Salt, where did it come from? It's not a seasoning. It doesn't grow in the ground. It's a chemical compound, sodium chloride. And on top of that, think about this. Now, to get the salt out of the ground, you can't blow it up because you get the poisons from the explosives in it. They use it for the roads and so forth, but for people's digestion, for consumption, they got to use a solution called dextrose. They dig a hole down into the earth, and they put the dextrose solution down, and they suck it back up, and it's got the dextrose in it. So now there's sugar in salt. Dextrose is a bad sugar. It's the third ingredient. Look at the salt container, okay? Then there's iodine in salt, because years ago, somebody got goiter. Goiter meant there was no iodine in the body. They didn't know it then. They thought it was a disease. It was really a deficiency, okay? There's a difference between diseases and deficiencies. Most of the diseases today that are categorized as diseases are deficiencies. And they're because salt's robbing the life out of our body, okay? It's robbing it right out. On top of that, if you're not taking in nutrition proper and you're constantly robbing the body of valuable vitamins and minerals by all the sodium in your body that makes you thirsty, and then you pee it all out and just like you're washing the life out of your body. I mean, as simple as that. So if you overwear your kidneys, you overwear your bladder. A lot of women, they have babies and their bladders are a little weak because of that. But then the salt, they get bladder problems when they get older. It's mostly because of salt. It overworks the bladder. Top of that, what happens when you eat salty food? You get thirsty and you drink up a storm. Guess what? Your digestive fluids, okay? Your digestive fluids, stomach acids are diluted. So the food doesn't digest. And guess what we have? Indigestion. You know the commercial where the guy's stomach blows up. Yeah. I mean, then you take a digestion aid. Why not just eat right and monitor your salt? You won't have that problem. When you eat, you should drink a little bit, but not guzzle and guzzle and guzzle. See, it really makes no sense. You're diluting your stomach acids. Now, think about this. A lot of people got thyroid problems today. One of my good friends I just found recently has got thyroid problems. I've been trying to tell him about salt for years, and he's in shape and he works hard out in the sun. He drinks the Gatorade and all these other things that are full of salt and sugar. And well, guess what? Now he's got thyroid problems. Doctor's got him on thyroid medication. I like the guy. I wish he'd listen to me. Maybe he will now. I don't know, but please, you will. I know you will. Think about this. Iodine is a mineral that's responsible for thyroid function. There's no recommended daily allowance of iodine that we need. We don't know how much we need, okay? So there's a good possibility, since it's in salt and salt's in everything. If you put salt in food, please stop. Please stop for me. Do it for me, okay? Guess what happens? You get too much iodine, and usually it slows down your thyroid function, meaning it slows down your metabolism, you gain weight like crazy, and then you go to the doctor and he'll put you on thyroid medication because that's the right thing to do in his eyes, and that's it. But I'm a preventive maintenance person. I believe in God made a beautiful body, a beautiful device we have. You got to understand how it works. I mean, look, we got a cooling system. You sweat, you cool your system off, We got a great body. It takes care of itself. Look, if you don't eat for a long time, it says, hey, you might be starving. I'm going to store some fat for you for later. So the last thing you want to do is starve your body all day and then pig out at night, which a lot of people do when they try to diet. You don't have to diet. What happens is salt gives you an insatiable lust for food because you can't satisfy it. It coats your taste buds. The natural organic taste buds that you have, it coats them. And it makes everything taste terrible except it. Think about it. Try having a baked potato plain. Now, there's no fat in potatoes. There's no salt in potatoes. It's protein and carbohydrates. It's good for you. But guess what? It's not going to taste good. There's ways to make it taste good. First, clean your taste buds out with my fueling plan, which is what I recommend, because it does. It cleans the taste buds out, and then all of a sudden your organic cravings come back, and the potato tastes great by itself. And then you find ways to make it taste better with combinations. I can show you that. And good oils. Okay, now we have prepared regular water, nothing in it, except a little bit of greens. The same amount of greens were in this water, same amount of water, but there's salt in here. Now, as I said, salt pulls the vitamins out of your body because it's a bleach. Sodium chloride. The chloride part bleaches the life out of your body. The sodium pulls water out of the muscle. The potassium pulls it in the muscle. Together, you get energy. It's called electrolytes. It's got to be in balance, 2-to-1 ratio. 2 sodium to 1 potassium. Now, most processed food is 10-to-1 ratio, 10 times the sodium to the potassium, which will make you bloated and puffy and take away your energy. And I'm going to show you what salt can do to your energy level these bottles represent muscle. Now there's water in them and there's vitamins and minerals in there. I put the greens in there and I put the water in there, but there's salt in this one, okay? Now you need sodium. Don't take me wrong. You need sodium. Sodium is very good for you, but not too much. Okay, here we go with the experiment. Salt water with vitamins and minerals and just plain water. Now, I'm going to put 3 drops of soap in each one. I hope they come out in drops and not pour it. I'm going to try my best. I got a dropper. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, what we have is representing the muscle. That's what the muscle is made out of. Water, it's contained, and it's got vitamins and minerals and so forth. Okay. When you have too much sodium, it can take energy from the muscle because it's not a balance with the potassium, and then your electrolytes are shot. And that's what this one is going to represent. So if I shake this one up and it doesn't bubble as much as that one, I'm right. Now, this is what's going to happen. This is what most people feel like in the morning after eating salty food and going to bed. Here we go. Shake, rattle, and roll. All right, what happens? Gee, I thought bubbles bubbled. Well, some bubbles. I see 1 or 2. Now, this one. Let's try this one. See what happens. Gee, what do we have? I see a difference. I definitely see a difference. This one's got more energy. It's the way it should be. Sometimes you get up in the morning and it's like starting a car and the battery is not quite alive and it's whoa, whoa. You got to start yourself with coffee or some kind of sugar. You know, it doesn't have to be that way. Your muscles should feel energetic all the time when it's the right sodium-potassium balance. Okay, have I said enough about salt? No, I haven't. There's another bad guy in there. It's called chloride. Now, here's the thing that really, it's hard for people to understand this, especially doctors. When I bring it to their attention, they're like, oh. When the body gets too much sodium, you get bloated and puffy and you lack energy in the muscle, like I showed you in my demonstration. When it gets too much chloride, get this, the body needs chloride, but when it gets too much chloride, the body shuts off the release of sodium. So your muscles will cramp, giving symptoms of lack of sodium. Oh. It becomes a vicious cycle. So how are you going to work out when your body doesn't have the right chemistry and doesn't motivate you? I want to help you. My system of body balance and training is awesome. The Rampage is phenomenal. The Quadmaker is mind-boggling. Okay? It all works great, but I want to help you with more than that. I want to teach you how to eat and how to clean your body out and get off that vicious cycle of not being happy with the way you look in your midsection, being bloated and puffy and gaining weight and being depressed and eating for happiness. I want you to understand it. I enjoy food. Much food. I love cherries and strawberries and peppers and oranges. Oh, there's so much food out there that tastes great, but it's the good food that you want to like, and it's lasting, and there's no guilt afterwards. You feel great. And once in a while, you want to have something special. Hey, a little ice cream once in a while. You want to go to a health food store and get the good stuff, in my opinion. Here's an example of how salt can work with a person. Okay, say you go out one night and have some salad, put some dressing on it, it's full of salt. Have some bread, full of salt. Have some chicken, it's basted in butter, the butter's full of salt. And what do you have? Salt, unsalt, unsalt, unsalt. Okay? Then the next morning you wake up, you can't see her, can't open your eyes, they're so puffy, and wait a minute, my rings don't fit. Wait a minute, my pants don't fit. Well, I'm not going anywhere. Where's my water pill? You know, I mean, this is what happens. You bloat and you bloat up and you get all puffy. And think about this. When you go to bed, ladies and gentlemen, do you want to look good in the morning? I mean, do you want a facelift every morning or do you want a puffy face every morning? This is what happens when you eat salt before you go to bed. Most people eat before they go to bed. You lay down. Gravity says straight down. Water is held evenly throughout your body, okay? And guess what? These eyes of ours have very thin skin underneath. And they get all puffy when you sleep, when you lay down. If we stood up, it wouldn't be that bad, but we do, we lay down, okay? And all that excess water stretches out your face. This part puffs. When you wake back up, goes back down and starts to hang and sag. Okay, you know how much it costs to get your eyes done? I'd rather not do that. I'd rather prevent it. If you don't eat before you go to bed, you're doing great. You get about 3 hours before you go to bed hungry. You wake up hungry, okay? Then you break fast. That's what breakfast is. You break fast. Clean your body out with some distilled water. Then have your meal. Blueberries, oatmeal, a little bit of fructose on it. It's delicious. You got fiber. You got energy food. Oh, and it tastes great. The clean taste buds, not the salty taste buds. Part of the feeling plan. There's a tip. Now remember this. If you want your face to look really nice, get rid of salt. It'll tighten up and smooth out and you'll look great. I'm telling you, I've seen it. Most people I work with, I tell them in 6 weeks, if they do my fueling plan for the first 3 weeks and phase 2 the second 3 weeks, people will guess them 10 years younger. Usually they're people in their 40s. And guess what? Almost every time. Man, somebody guessed me 10 years younger. I can't believe it. I look young. I look 10 years younger. It happens. I mean, it really does happen. It's true, and I'm not pulling you. Try 3 days. Try just 3 days without salt. Or 3 days on my fueling plan would be awesome. And guess what you're going to see? You're just going to see a new you. You're going to see the real you. You're going to see you without the water mask on. Your waist is going to trim up, your face is going to trim up, your neck's going to trim down, your skin's going to tighten up, you're going to feel great, you're going to look great. I wouldn't pull your leg.